Hold open, chaos in.
Mecca Tanner, Yasmine, and Lewis. The Catfish dynamic duo is back, so let's do this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Tap my name on you, girl, so I know it's real. Tap my fucking name on you, so I know it's real.
Hey, you see what I did?
I see what you did there.
Clever. As
Song
ever.
props goes to OG today. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos J. Catfish Season 6 Remix. We're back with a double episode for you. And I can't do this without the other half of the dynamic duo. Let me throw it over to you.
What's going on?
Hey, long time no see.
I know.
Looking girl, tell me how you be.
You're so clever with that. What's going on, AfterBuzzers? I'm Olivia Gabaree. Hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, _O_G.
All right, so we've got 2 episodes. We've got Mecca and Tanner, and then we've got Yasmine and Lewis. So, without further ado, let's jump into Mecca and Tanner.
I feel like it's so confusing at this point because both cases have like 6 different names associated with it.
It's ridiculous this time,
Yeah.
at least when it comes to the names. So we have Mecca, who is 18 years old. She's in Florida. And, you know, she starts off her catfish plea with, my first love is actually now my second love. Please help. So we've got Max and Io on the case. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, so we first introduced to Ryan. And, you know, Ryan and her are, you know, talking on the phone all the time, texting 24/7. And, you know, they're in love. They're dropping L-bombs.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so what do you think about this?
Okay, first of all, they started this relationship, present day they're 18, but they started this relationship when they were 13.
5 years ago.
13 years
That's a
old.
long
Doesn't
time.
that scare you a little bit?
Just a little
The fact
bit.
that 13-year-olds are having internet relationships.
Not only are they having internet relationships, but these are like serious, involved, I love you, dropping
my
L-bomb
gosh.
relationships. I was just happy to have a girl like me and maybe let me make out with her like after school.
Make out with her.
Right.
I think I got my first like hug at 13. Maybe I was a late bloomer.
For me,
I don't
when
know.
I was 13, I didn't get my first, you know, kiss until I was actually 14.
Oh, okay.
But, however, even then, like, that was like, oh my God, like, my mind was like, was fireworks and rainbows and unicorns. And that was the extent. Like, I wasn't, like, even thinking about dropping L-bombs and telling girls I love them, and let alone thinking about them all day. Like, I had so much other stuff going on, like.
I know. Well, the reason why they became so close was because Ryan was Mecca's outlet. So she had been getting bullied at school and she kind of needed to find herself a companion, someone she could confide in, and she met Ryan. However, the manner in which she met Ryan
was already shady to begin with.
Extremely bizarre.
So she gets a message from Taylor who says, "Hey, my cousin saw your picture and he's interested, you know, can he get your number?"
You see, wouldn't that be
Like, that should have been your first red flag.
Yes, absolutely. And then
Who does that?
so they had
And she was like, well, can I see a picture? And blah, blah, blah. So then she sends a picture.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to be some good looking dude. And she's like, oh, he's hot. Give me my number.
right. And maybe just when you're young, you're naive, so you don't
Oh,
really think
extremely.
twice about those things. But
Because I was giving my number out like candy when I was, and this
but
is
you
going to,
didn't
this
even
is going to
have
sound.
a number at 13.
Hold on, wait.
What was your
It was my
house
home
phone?
number, low key. It was like, you know, but I was still giving that out back in chat rooms.
Oh my!
Yeah,
you gave
right.
your house number out in chat rooms.
In chat rooms, but like it was on
your
the
mom
private.
answer the
It
phone?
wasn't like the whole chat room. It was like, you know, you started off in the chat room,
Your
then
private
you moved to the private IM, and it's like, yeah, something. You know, I'd scan and upload one of my pictures. Yeah, that's right. I said scan and upload. That was before, you know, this was on the laptop, which was like about that thick. And I scanned and upload my pictures, and we'd talk for a minute, and yeah, I'd give them the number so they could call me. But I'd be like, you know, you can't call between this time and that time, and like.
But here's the thing: you had to get off the internet to answer that call.
Exactly.
Because you had that dial-up.
Exactly. And even then, it still wasn't anything really serious.
No, and it makes me so nervous. It really does. But it just goes to show when you're that young and you're that naive, you could mess around and get yourself catfished.
You really could. And to think about it, I didn't even think about this, but I was, you know, oh yeah, let's meet at the mall. Let's meet here. And I was just meeting, you know, girls off of, you know, AOL chat rooms like
Lord.
it was cool. And I could have easily just got scooped up by some child predator. Craziness.
I mean, but luckily for Mecca, her mom was aware of this, and she figured her rational thinking behind it was, okay, her boyfriend's in Texas. Maybe he's out of harm's way. They have a virtual relationship.
It's not really going to do that much damage.
Exactly. So, okay, if her mom was monitoring, I can talk it, then it's not so bad. But what was different about this than our typical checklist was they actually had FaceTimed. However, I wouldn't give it a full check.
And I'm going to go ahead and say we might need to consider adding this to our checklist, because I've noticed this is becoming a trend now is we'll video chat, but I'm going to be in a dark room looking like I'm from Star Wars and I'm a Sith Lord with the hoodie on.
Right.
Because, like, that was crazy. Like, the screenshot, like...
I know. And then it ended up being when Mecca FaceTimed Ryan, she noticed that something was a little off and things didn't look right. And Ryan picked up on that immediately and was like, oh, somebody hacked my phone. Somebody called you. It wasn't me.
Right.
Red flag.
Right. Exactly. And then not only did we have that, but then she finally breaks him down to the point where he's like, okay, all right. I'm not Ryan. I'm Tanner.
And you know what I was thinking at that very moment was, okay, Taylor hooked up Mecca with her cousin Ryan, but now Ryan doesn't exist. Ryan's Tanner.
And Tanner is very close to Taylor.
Exactly.
In naming wise.
Yes.
And so for me, that was kind of low-key a dead giveaway.
Right.
And then
if
even
the other two giveaways weren't dead giveaways.
Right, exactly. And then not only that, but then it's like, okay, so now you're Tanner and you look like this. And Tanner didn't look bad, the picture that but ultimately it's like, why wouldn't you just, because she wore baggy clothes, why wouldn't you just, you know, wrap your hair in a bun, put on a hood,
just
put on
use
like
your face.
Put on, right, because she didn't have an overly girly face.
Yeah, she was kind of like a tomboy
right,
style
so she could have just put on a hat, and I low-key feel like she could have pulled it off.
Maybe.
Like a hoodie, but not the hoodie's not on, but it's baggy enough, and you got a hat, you know, and you just...
She definitely could have played it smarter, I think, because if you're going to get caught in a lie, there's your opportunity to come clean, and instead he or she just dug themselves into a deeper hole.
She did. And then, you know, I thought it was kind of, I guess, ironic that one of the pictures that she sent of Tanner was one of him kissing the catfish.
I know. Did you think that was a nice touch?
It was a nice touch,
funny.
and I kind of was like, was there something there? We find out that there really wasn't anything behind it.
Yeah.
It was just, she's just scavenging pictures to send just to validate that she really is Tanner. I like that Ayo is really quick. Like she
knew from the jump.
I'm sorry,
excuse
right,
me.
excuse us. Ayo knows from the jump, because first off, he's like, what dude is going to be texting and on the phone that much.
Exactly.
Which is true. On average, it's been said that women speak an average of 4,000 words a day to a man's 1,000 to 2,000 words a day.
Wow, that's like double.
Exactly. Y'all talk a lot. So translate that into texting and phone conversations, and they're just going all day, like all day, full blown texting and conversations, and like extended conversations at that.
Right.
No. And and he picked up on that then, and then they look at Ryan's old profile, and they see that he he's a member of a GBLTQ group.
Exactly.
Another giveaway was like, what straight teenage boy is going to be a member of a GBLTQ group? Not to say that they're against it or anti, but just they're not.
Right. And this profile had been posting about Mecca like all of the time.
Right.
Almost all of Ryan's posts were dedicated to Mecca. So the fact that this person is posting about his girlfriend but is also a member of this group is kind of suspicious.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, I am still not understanding why these people are not digging into these profiles, because even when I don't think I'm getting catfish, I'm still digging into your profile.
All up in your business.
Like, we're looking at pictures, tag pictures, groups, comments,
Friends.
likes,
Who is
friends.
this? You see that smiley face with the heart
Yeah,
emojis?
come on
Who is
now.
she?
We need to like investigate a little harder.
I
don't
hope
get
y'all
it.
taking notes.
You have to like look through it all.
Yeah.
And not even the fact that he belonged to this group, but the fact that Mecca had posts in this group that she didn't even post herself.
As her.
Like, dang. Is that the thing these days, that people give out their passwords? Because I
Right.
ain't giving my password to nobody.
Like, oh no, but if you don't give out your password, you don't trust me.
Oh no, come on. That's like a violation of
And it's
privacy.
just why? Like, why is that necessary?
It's not necessary. But
Until
I
I give you a reason to not trust me, I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and trust me.
And even if you didn't trust me, you still are not getting my password.
Bam! You're not.
Sorry
yeah.
to say, that's mine, not yours.
Exactly.
You can see whatever you gotta see. I'm sure, like, these days you can pretty much see it all without seeing it all. So.
Right.
Whatever.
So, yeah. So we've got all of this evidence, and then again we've got Tanner or Ryan. We've got Ryan posting as Mecca in a gay group. Mind you, this is supposed to be her straight boyfriend. And in addition to that, there's no pictures. There's no like group pictures of Tanner. There's no
Another
group
check off
pictures
the list.
of Taylor. All ingredients on our catfish checklist.
I think it goes to, like, fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Smarten up, girlfriend.
Like, and that's the thing, is like, after you confess, like, yeah, I'm not really this person, our first instinct is to be like, oh, okay, well, you done.
Yeah, like, you're a liar.
But at the same time, if you're invested in that person and they've already got 5 years in the game talking to each other, they've got 5 years history, it's probably a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, I just think at that point you are choosing to be naive, kind of
Right.
like an ignorance is
And
bliss
she even
type
said
thing.
that. She is just, she even acknowledges that, I probably, like, I don't want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know, but I don't want to know. So they find this post from Lakeisha, which is one of Taylor's coworkers, or was it Tanner?
Taylor.
It was Taylor. So it's Taylor's coworker, saying like, hey, I need you to cover one of my shifts. So they hit up Lakeisha.
Right.
What happened after they hit up
And
Lakeisha?
so they hit up Lakeisha, and she confirmed that Taylor was a real person. She never had any signs that Taylor had a boyfriend before. So
Taylor talked to a lot of guys.
Oh, right.
Probably
so
just to hang out and play video games, because I got no Taylor like Sky vibes.
And so this pretty much confirmed that Taylor was a real person, which
Right.
led Io and Max to reach out to Taylor. And when Taylor responded to them, they got a call from Tanner.
Right.
So
Right.
obviously right there. And yeah, it's
Ding,
a
ding,
call
ding, ding,
from
ding, ding, ding,
Tanner,
ding.
but it was very clear that it was Tanner's voice was more on the feminine side.
Right. Right. She hadn't worked out that whole gravelly, hey, what's up? It's Tanner. Heard y'all was looking for me. It's Max and Neve.
I feel like
it's
she
Max
didn't
and Io.
even really try to disguise it.
Not even. We
No.
have yet to find someone like Jose. Who,
Oh my, that was some creepy shit.
you know, throwback to Jose, like Jose.
I've been seeing
and then
so
when
many
he did
memes
the demo,
about that episode.
oh wow, I'm gonna need you to share some of those because I have not seen any, but that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I saw
Again,
a
that
couple.
man was talented. So, yeah, Max is getting ready to call, Tanner, which he's not used to being the one that makes the calls. Io takes over, but then before Io can even call, that's when Tanner calls. We know at that point that it is Taylor. And she says, I'm not the guy in the photos, but I am Tanner. And we find out that the mom was, oh wait, sorry.
Rewind.
Back up. So yeah, so she's like, I'm not the guy in the photos, but I am Tanner. So at that point, I'm expecting to be introduced to Tanner. But what happened when they finally go ahead and we get introduced?
Whoa.
Well, first off, let's talk about the fact that it wasn't even a phone call; it was a FaceTime.
Yeah, they fake.
I almost forgot it was a FaceTime.
But the classic,
with the spooky,
yeah,
hoodie dark thing. Whack.
I mean,
So whack.
A for effort. Like, I'll give you that.
I
You're
don't
the
even
only.
know.
But it's
B.
the only catfish that had the balls.
To just go ahead and do the FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like, I respect you for that.
I'm gonna give you a B. A would have been if you'd have just, buoyed it up real quick and just throw on a hat and
Right.
Yeah.
But come to find out, surprise, surprise, Tanner is actually Taylor, which I honestly knew from the first 5 minutes of the episode. Who in their right mind is gonna reach out to somebody for their male cousin who comes to find out is not
Tell
even a
'em.
real person?
tell them.
That should have been like, wait a second, you just introduced me to a fake person. You had to have known your cousin Ryan is not Ryan if Ryan was a person,
Pretty much.
But 13-year-old love is a little
I
different.
guess, but
than
as you get older, that's when it's like, okay, enough is enough. But then again, I guess that's why we're here. Because it got to that point when it was like, okay, enough is
and that's
enough.
what Max and Eve
They go. Tanner agrees to meet, and because he owes it to Mecca to come clean. But then he refuses to open the door once they get there. I'm scared. Again, up until you come out the door, we're supposed to believe that you are a guy. So as you being a guy, I'm gonna need you to man up and walk out and be like, yo, what's up? It's me, Tanner, or Ryan, or whoever you decide you want to be that day.
Feel like you want to call me
That day.
This is me.
Finally, Max goes in. He does the the Neve pep talk, and we get Tanner that comes out, but then introduces herself as
Wait, Taylor, correct?
right. So she just immediately just was like, okay, I'm Taylor. She immediately drops the whole Tanner act.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like, I don't feel like she got grilled hard enough for me. Like, I wanted a little bit more of a grilling.
Right.
But you could see that that Mecca was mad, and it was like, okay, so let's talk about what you did lie about. You lied about Ryan. You lied about Tanner.
She lied
you
about
lied
a
about
lot.
all those. Well,
Her
then,
friends, remember?
all the friends that were dying
But
and
the
family
fact
members that
that
were
she
dying
backed
back
that
to
up,
back.
she was like, yeah, they actually did die, and then she
did.
called them
And
back
then she
and was
calls
like,
them
you know what,
after
they
they
didn't
leave.
die.
Like, okay, yeah, no,
I don't
there's-
have sympathy for you, girlfriend.
Not at all. Not
I
after
don't.
that.
I'm sorry.
Not
but-
after that. And then it's just, I didn't really. Did she even answer the question about why? Or no, she lied again. lied when I was gonna say, because I don't remember her response about the whole, posing as Mecca in the gay group.
Yeah.
But then she said that she didn't remember
She didn't
doing
remember
that.
doing that.
So that
no.
she must have got hacked.
But she explained that coming from a small town in Texas, it's very difficult to come out. That I understand that, but I just think that you owe it to the other person that you're having a 5-year relationship with
To be
honest and truthful. But Mecca wasn't about it, and I respect her decision to not be about it. And Taylor was never heard from again.
Yeah, Taylor went
Taylor,
straight
if you're
ghost.
out there.
Ghost. I mean, if you want to talk about Taylor, you can always hit us up.
Yeah.
We're definitely open to talk about it. Let us know your side of the story. Anyways, so yeah, Mecca hadn't talked since. Mecca was doing her own thing. Hopefully, Mecca wasn't a bad looking girl.
Yeah.
So, hopefully
She's got this.
she found somebody else and is ready to do, some new things. Okay, so shut that down.
Clean slate. Moving on.
Clean slate.
Max is back.
Neve
is back.
Neve is back. And we've got Yasmine and Lewis. And what I loved about this episode was that it wasn't Yasmine that hit up Catfish.
It was her grandma.
It was her grandma. Grandma was a G. It was Sandy. Or Sandra.
It was... what?
Sandra.
Was it Sandra?
Sandra. We'll call her Sandy.
Call her Sandy.
Call her Grandma Sandy.
Sandy.
Granny Sandy. So she calls because obviously she's concerned. She knows that Yasmine had been talking to someone for quite some time. And then, she was like, well, haven't you guys met yet?
Right. And this one was so funny to me because her grandma seemed to be wiser in the virtual
She was picking up
area. She's more wise than her granddaughter.
I mean, she really
She's very
was
savvy about this.
Not only that, but she wasted no time getting right to the meat of everything.
Exactly.
She jumped right on Facebook, looked this dude up, found video clips off his profile of him actually speaking. Showed this to Yasmine, who then was like, oh wow, yeah, that doesn't sound like him. Mind you, Yasmine's talking to this dude all the time.
Exactly. And the first red flag that was kind of a giveaway to Grandma Sandy was the fact that she figured that Yasmine was sending money over to Lewis, right? Lewis is his name.
Right.
And the thing is, when she sent money to him, she didn't send it to a Lewis. She sent it to a Rihanna.
Right.
And obviously that's so huge. Hello, why, if this is your money, why am I sending it to her? But that's not even the first red flag.
I mean,
the first red flag is sending money, period.
I don't know you.
Right.
We have not met in person.
Don't ask me for money. I'm not sending anybody money.
But I'm gonna give a small BOD because it was only $40. And
but in perspective,
Max said $40 when you live with your grandparents is a lot of money.
Yes.
Which low key that is true. However, it was only $40 and it was the story behind it seemed legitimate enough that I'm not gonna lie and say that had I not been engaged in some form or fashion of an online relationship with someone and they were just like, yo, like I need like 40 ducats to go fill up my tank to go do blah blah blah. Don't worry about it, I got you. Because at that point we have to remember they're involved, feelings are invested.
Okay.
Granted, Grandma Sandy was only up on game for 6 weeks.
Right, but
they've been going
like
strong for it. Yeah,
and
for like at least a year or something like that. But again, the voice, like,
right. So that's
you talk
very
to someone
obvious.
so long, you know the voice. Like if I were to hear it within earshot, out in public, I would be like, oh, that's Olivia. So then, if I see a video of you and you don't sound like what I'm used to you sounding like, and you don't sound like, oh, well, maybe she was just smoking cigarettes that day and she sounds raspy, or maybe she just woke up.
No, straight up different.
Like, you just straight up different. That's a big red flag,
Exactly.
and we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, but I mean, she did talk about it and address it, and come to find out, Lewis was actually who's the next person that
Milo.
Lewis was actually Milo. And
Sends another picture in, and she's like, "Wait, how's this possible? Because now you're coming out.
more attractive.
You're more attractive."
And Milo was cute.
You know, he was a handsome fellow.
And that's funny though. I'm glad that she picked up on that because it is true. Why would
Right.
you lie about what you look like if you look like that?
Hello.
I'm not sure.
That would be like you catfishing and sending somebody else a picture of somebody else. You already fine. So why
Hey.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, it's just so bizarre. But
It
then
was
it
random.
goes back to my thing that's, fool me once, shame on you.
fool me twice, shame on me.
Exactly.
But then yeah, so he's like, okay, yeah, I'm Milo, and then we find out that he's not even Milo. He's Blue.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, so what did Blue look like? Did Blue look good? And she's like, no.
And I'm
no.
like, okay, this is
Now
okay.
we're
it
on
might
track.
be I'm like it might be Blue.
It could Blue could really be Blue.
Well, and the fact that Blue had already been following her on Twitter.
Right.
So this was somebody that had already been engaged with her. It's not someone that just popped up randomly. So okay, I'm feeling Blue. I see.
And then just this is random. I never heard of this. Granted, I know there's always these accounts where they're like, oh, gain more followers, blah blah blah.
But they were in a
Do
chat
people
room on one of
really
those.
do this?
I mean, I
Like,
guess
it's-
so.
Okay, I get it. Everybody wants more followers. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
would
but,
love
like,
more
it
followers.
Just is like the weird world that we live in these days.
But it's just like, is it really that serious? Like, just grow them yourself. Like, you
I would
already
prefer
know.
for them to be like organic people
Right.
that actually care what I
Right.
have to say.
Like, you look at like you check out your boys page. You look at my numbers make sense.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, Kel's got a lot of followers, but Kel's is following everybody that's on, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it balances out. It's not like I got like 100,000 followers and I'm only following 10 people. Like, that's
yeah,
not
that would
real.
be a little off. Or
You know, especially since I didn't
Matt-
start off famous. You know, I just, I've been working my way up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to unfollow y'all if y'all following me. And if you're not following me, you should be. Just saying.
And you know what my favorite is? When you have an extensive amount of followers and have like 10 likes. Not that this
Right.
ratio isn't working out for
Not
me.
at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm gonna need you to balance that out.
But
all
I
the
mean,
way
maybe
out.
we have to hit up these chat rooms to gain some followers. I don't
guess
know. So
maybe
I'll take
that
some
should be
pointers
maybe
from
that
here.
should be our Catfish after show behind the scenes.
Exactly, but
situation.
I think now that we see how you can easily get lost in the sauce in these following schemes,
Right.
we'll be smarter about it.
And Blue was going out of his way as Lewis initially to get her attention.
Right.
Like out of his way. Mm-hmm. So anyways, despite all of these lies, she was still talking to him when she met Max and Nev. Mm-hmm. Because of this whole connection. It's crazy how people get really tied up with this connection. Because I feel like that connection should be lost after you find out that person has lied to you, not once,
Right.
but twice.
But it's hard if you think about it. When you are in a relationship, every little thing that you do, you tell this other person. You confide in them about everything. Check in with them day to day. So
like, I had a bowl of Lucky Charms and it made me gassy.
ew.
Like, literally everything.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens to me. Sometimes certain things will happen,
Sometimes
and you go
get
to
gassy
tell.
after Lucky Charms.
Sometimes you get gassy after Lucky Charms, and you go to tell your significant other, and you're like, you feel lost because they're not there anymore.
Like, who do I tell? These Lucky Charms really tore my stomach up. Like, what's good? So, and not only that, but in addition to their bond and their connection and them being BFFs and lovers to a certain extent, I guess she had a lot of family issues, and he was there for her.
Right.
So that definitely gained him a lot of loyalty points.
Yeah, and so, it's funny that you say him because this whole time we are assuming that Lewis, Milo, and Blue are men.
Dudes.
Not quite.
No, not even a little bit.
Not quite, no.
Not even a little bit.
So Blue's real name is actually Kira. Kira being a female.
Right. But she admits that she loves Yasmine. But she's scared to meet her. It's too much. And then she hangs up on Nev. When they have that phone call, like she hangs up.
But at that point, we're still thinking that Blue is a male.
Right, exactly. We're just like, oh, okay, Blue's
But
Blue's a dude.
they live in Arkansas, not too far away, so it's very easy to take a trip over there and just figure it out. It's not like they have to fly across the country or something.
Right. So they get to Little Rock. They get to the house. They're knocking on the doors. They're hitting the side door. They're hitting the front door, and nothing.
But Nev finally sweet talks Blue out the side door.
Right. And he's like, oh, yeah, like I was nervous. And I was like, okay, but how, even if you're nervous, you have to come out. At that point, if they're literally there, you cannot just hide out in your house. Like I
wonder if that
has
will
ever
happen.
happened.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you go through all this production work, and
right.
I wonder how that even happens.
Yeah.
Someone changes their mind.
So we meet Blue, who we find out is Kira. And at first I thought she had said Kier. And I was like, oh, so it is a dude.
Yeah.
Because she, had the whole, stud look going. But no, she was a girl. And then I love it because we should have 2 checklists. We should have the catfish checklist and then the post-discovery catfish checklist. Because I feel like every catfisher says the same thing. Like, I know that who you thought I wasn't real, but everything we talked about was real. I was sharing me. That was me that you was talking to. Like, I really meant those things that I said.
Exactly.
Personality, life, everything we shared was real.
And that makes sense. And
it does make sense.
Like, I hope that would be real, because you would be a real pathological liar if you have the ability to seriously make up an entire lifestyle and an entire second personality.
But we have low-key seen that, too, where the catfishers say they have no connection. Like, they're not...
I mean, yeah, okay, that's true. But I feel like typically the conversations that they have are organic, whether they have an agenda or not.
Right.
It's just, and I understand it, this is really me. It's just not my real face. But I still can't get over the fact that you had the audacity to lie to me for this long. That's a bit...
over an extended period of time. And then, so what's crazy is, Yasmine's low-key giving Kira the 3rd degree, and Kira got buck. She's like, you ain't listening.
She's like
what's wrong with you?
She was like, oh, this bitch don't listen. She just takes off, and I'm like, who are you? Who gave you the right to get mad at anything?
Said,
After the fact,
listen.
Yeah,
she did when she said that. I was like, what?
And you're right, I'm not listening to you. You told me to get your name, Lewis, tatted on me.
Touch your name on me if you know it's real.
Your name's not even Lewis. Imagine if I was that dumb chick that really did go get your name tatted on me.
Can you imagine having to explain that to people?
And she's like, you could just get it covered up. I'm like, covered up?
I don't want to have to cover up something that wasn't really real in the first place.
So this is my man's Lewis. We met on the internet. Come to find out, Lewis wasn't Lewis. Lewis was Milo, and Lewis wasn't even Milo. Lewis was Blue. Blue is Kira. Kira's a woman. I don't even like Kira, but
I got that tat though.
No,
but it ain't even real. Like, not even a little bit. Tap my name on you
so I know it's real. It's not real. You're a liar.
Exactly.
Who's Lewis?
Shut it down. So yeah, Kira gets mad. She storms off. Yaz is upset. She's crying. They decide, obviously, to stay another night so they can follow up in the morning. And Yasmine's a little reluctant. She wasn't really ready to go back and talk to Kira.
Yeah.
And most times we see they're like, yeah, I need more answers. Yasmine was like, no, actually, I don't know. Like, I don't want to get guilt tripped.
I mean, she has all the answers she needs,
she
honestly.
Really did, though.
But it's so funny.
And we already knew that this wasn't going to go any further.
Yeah.
Like, there was no future for that relationship.
I mean, bless Kira, though. She was spitting G. She was still trying for
yeah,
it.
she was, because she was like, okay, can I get a hug?
You look even more beautiful in
right,
person.
exactly.
Touches her hair.
Right,
Like,
you can wipe the tears off your face.
Get out of my face.
Can I get a kiss? She's like, no, and I was so glad. But then when they pulled away, there's always that split second when you come from a long hug and you pull away.
And you're
you
like,
pull away right here. That's your opportunity, whether it's open or not. That is your opportunity
but
to
that's
slip
why
it
you
in.
gotta see him about the side hugs. When I know that someone's gonna be pulling some, like, it's like, you know, when you finish up a date and it's like, shit, like, we're gonna have to say goodbye. I don't know. So I'll just give him, it was nice to meet you, that one arm. So you still, that's the trick. You still have like an open chest.
Are y'all watching this? Are y'all getting this technique?
to remove yourself
Just
from the
one
sticky
arm,
situation.
bam.
Because if you got the
One
two,
arm,
then you're like,
exit.
You're trapped. You always have to have that exit, you know?
Straight gangster over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so clearly Kira was spitting game. Yasmine was having none of it. And that was it, you know. And Kira should have known, because earlier when they're talking, you know, she's like, you know, I always care for you. You hear those words? There's certain phrases that you just know. Phrase one. If a girl ever says we need to talk, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Exactly.
You know.
It's never we need to talk, and it's just like, you know, things have been going so great. I'm so happy with you. It never starts off like that. It never starts off like that.
Sometimes it can, but it's
It
just
can,
like,
but
there's
it's
always
always
that but, you know?
Exactly. So the same thing. I'll always care for you. That's letting you know that this is going to have an ending, and you are definitely in the friend zone. If you thought you were somewhere else, you're not. You are in the friend zone. Welcome. You'll be here for eternity. Anyways, so she said, you know, we're just gonna call it a goodbye for now. Which again, that's just as bad to me as saying, let's just be friends. Well, first off, if we were in a relationship and we're breaking up, I don't want to be friends.
You can't be friends.
No,
I'm sorry.
not really.
Maybe years
down the line, maybe.
As many all you people out there that, oh yeah, I'm friends with my ex. No, you're not. No, you could try, but you're not.
Yeah, no. I feel
Never
like if you're
works.
really keeping your ex kind of around in pocket somewhere,
You're not ready.
Not only are you not ready, but you're low-key just keeping them around just in case you want that jump off again.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean? It's always, you gotta just keep one in your back pocket. Save it for later. For a rainy day.
Like an hour later.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, you have it now or you can have it later. So we get the follow-up, and, you know, Yaz is back in college. She's not on social media as much. She's not even thinking about a relationship. She seemed like she was happy. And she was still friends with Kira. Nothing crazy, nothing serious, but she was still friends with Kira.
And apparently Kira has no feelings for...
None.
Yasmine.
Kira's cold-blooded.
Nope. I ain't got
Cut it
no
off.
feelings.
I mean, I couldn't stay, you know, stuck on her forever.
Well,
this
good-
is right,
good for
Kira.
you.
This is right. You could not stay stuck on her forever, because she was no longer stuck on you, bro. No longer stuck on you. And that concludes Kira and Yaz, or Yaz and Kira. Thoughts?
I mean, I'd say the same thing after every episode. You know, for my entertainment, please keep getting catfished. For your own sake, watch an episode of Catfish and stop getting catfished.
It's really simple, people. It's really simple. Shout out to Sandra, the grandma, for being
it
a
G.
gangster. Because she was the one that pretty much started the whole investigation herself. So props to her. I was going to say that I feel like, and it's been said that our parents for this generation, especially millennials, and even some grandparents are a lot more in tune than previous generations. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but it's just that they're a lot more in tune. They're a little bit, they're more able to connect easier with, you know, their kids and their grandkids. They may not know all of the smartphone apps, you know, the social media dating apps and all that. They may not be up on that, on the technology of side, but just being able to relate and understand and communicate, they're a lot more in tune, and they're a lot more in tune than we give them credit for.
Right.
As evidenced by, you know, her grandma. Her grandma was up on game. She knew
for her. That's
from
how it
Jump
should
Street
be.
what was really going on, and had Yasmine really taken the time to listen to her, which she kind of did, you know, she probably would have caught this a lot earlier. So I say that to say that, you know, when we roll our eyes when our parents were giving us information and advice, grandparents, parents and stuff, low key, you might want to listen, because they've been around the block a few times and we're just starting down the street. Just saying.
True.
That's all I have. We will see you guys next week. What else? Predictions? I don't really have any predictions.
Yeah, we can't really predict on this one, the show.
I just want something. I need some more twists. We were
Little
getting a
more
lot
spice.
of twists and turns. We didn't really get the twists and turns this time. It was kind of one of those where we could see it coming. So hey, it is what it is. We appreciate you joining us for the Catfish Season 6 remix with a dynamic duo. Anything you'd like to leave them with?
Nope. Just you know, hit me up. Help me rack up those followers.
Get
Organic
these followers up.
only.
Organic. We're not doing
Likes
chat rooms.
or it doesn't count. So hit me up, the real OG.
And you already know, it's your boy Chaos J, KAOSJ, and Instagram Chaos_Oceans31. You know what it is. All right,
we'll
thanks
see you
everybody.
Next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.